All right, so we gotta start the assembly section of it. So this is a Kurt DX6 Crossover Device. This is the new one from Kurt. I just got this straight from their website. There's a couple things I don't like on here, like that. I'm not a big fan of it. But can we get rid of it? Delete? Yeah. So other than doing that, this is bone stock, how you would get it from their website. A couple things I'm going to do here, just change my camera to perspective ortho faces because that's what I prefer. And then I want to clean this up. So a couple things I'm going to do first. I'm going to unground this because I'm going to end up moving everything within here. And then I'm going to create a couple new components. I basically have two things on here that I'm going to need to be able to control. And I'm not building configuration in this case. So I'm not super worried about any soft jaw configurations or any other different versions of this device. As-built joints is probably going to be the way. And then next week, when maybe we get some changes to Fusion, I will go over some of those new changes and how to put that stuff in here. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm just trying to make this file the simplest. I don't like to have all these components sitting here on the left, so I want to make kind of a container to group things together. So I'm just going to say new component. I don't need to activate it. I'm going to call this base. And I'm going to hit OK. And then I'm going to do another one. And I'm going to say new component. And I'm going to just call this MJ for movable jaw. Right. So what I'm going to do now is I like to turn these off. And you'll see why in a second. But I'm going to click on the screen, kind of find where some of this stuff is. This says combine. I'm going to take this and drag it into the base. And now I know that's done. Right. So then I can keep going through here and I can find some of this other stuff like these caps, like this cap here, that's part of the base. So I'm just going to slide that in there. That is part of the, what is that? That's going to be part of the base because it's not going to move because that slider does not move. Base, and I'm just going to go through here and grab all this stuff and put this. That is going to move with the slider. And then even when we get to a point like this, to make this simpler, what I can do is go to the side here, just window select all of these. And I should be able to take those and put those in there. Oh no.
That happened to me the other day, Devin. Then I'd have to manually highlight them like that, yeah. Which is weird behavior because it didn't used to be like that.
Yeah. And why did that not work? Okay, well, it's still not letting me do that.
Interesting.
All right, so we'll just do them one by one. So right here, that's going to be part of the base because that's not moving. We can grab this here, so I can cap screw base, one base. I'm just turning these off as we do them so we can kind of understand where they go. And like some of these, like these four here, we can just remove these. Maybe. It's weird it's not selecting them.
Yeah, something must have changed recently because I had a similar issue on Tuesday.
See, it's not even let me. So one at a time seems kind of horrible.
Yeah, one at a time is what I'm just doing too.
And trust me, this just makes it much easier to assemble. But some of the stuff you could just simplify and just get rid of this stuff because you don't really need these caps to be in there. No one really cares about that. But once we put them all in there, that's part of the jaw. That's going to be part of the jaw. I'm not really sure where that goes. All right, so now we got that all cleaned up. it looks much better. We can turn this on, and then do I have another bug going on right now? It looks like it. So let's see if I can switch to a different workspace. Have that come back on. All right, so there's definitely a bug here.
Not like a live demo.
Not a big deal. I don't make the program, but visually, yeah, it wasn't letting me turn the bodies back on. There we go. So we should have this piece and this piece. And so now what we're going to do, I'm going to just keep this super simple. I'm going to take the base here and ground that. Oh, actually, no, I'm not going to do that. So one of the other things I like to do when I'm building an assembly like this is look at where the thing is sitting. Now, I'm a machinist. Obviously, I want this to face Z up. So what I'm going to do is grab these two main components, which will grab everything in there. I'm going to say move copy. And let's say for a second, this pivot was like over here, for example. I just showed you how to do it, but I want to rotate everything here about the origin, which may or may not be visible on the screen. What I'm going to do here is say set pivot. I'm going to actually open up the origin, click on the vertex here, and then click the accept button. We'll check mark there, and then it'll let me rotate everything like this to put it the way I want. And now normally I'm going to put it in the machine like this. So I'm also going to rotate it here 90 degrees and hit OK. And that's going to be kind of our starting point. Now, I'm super curious as to what these sketches are. And let's delete that because I don't need to see that. All right, so we have our part here, and we're going to capture that position. We got this. So what I'm going to do is go to assemble. This is probably the easiest way to do this because normally we'd have to constrain all these parts together or whatever. I'm going to go to assemble here. I'm going to go to rigid group. I'm just going to click the base here and then everything in it and hit OK. And now this base is not fixed to the world. Now I'm going to show you that here by turning both of these on. If I grab this base, I have the thing turned off. Oh, maybe I don't. Oh, that is odd. The base shouldn't be grounded like that. So I can move all that stuff. So we want that to be kind of like stuck right there, which it looks like it is somehow. Oh, there we go. So that was absolutely glitched too because I was trying to do that a second ago. So I want to be able to grab this whole thing and move it, grab this whole thing and move it. This one, obviously, we did not put together yet. So I'm going to revert those positions. We'll go to the movable jaw here. All this stuff is going to be fixed. We're going to go to assemble here and create another rigid group. And we're going to include the components underneath it. So both of these should be rigidly assembled. We will see those in these rigid groups that show under relationships. And we're going to get some more options maybe next week. But now we should have this piece, and they are both floating in space. So there's the origin for that. Here's the origin for my main level here, and you can see that they're not tied together. Having these individual origins allow us to assemble things here. So I'm going to just say revert position. And the easiest way to do this, obviously I would recommend keeping this clean, turning all that stuff off. But the easiest way to do this now that we've put all this stuff together and they are kind of floating in space, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take this and I want to try this right now. I'm not sure of the behavior, but you may run into this. If I right now click on this and I say ground to parent, we may get an option to update initial position, which we're not right here. If I hit ground to parent, it's actually going to move this vise back to where it started from, possibly. Or it could stick it right there. So this is one way to do it. If this works, great, right? If you click ground and you don't get any sort of movement there, remember I did rotate this and move it. It was kind of sideways. It was sitting kind of like this. We put it like this in relation to the Z and X axis here. If something happens when you do that, let's go ahead and undo that. And we'll undo that again. The easiest way to fix that now that you've moved this thing and it's kind of in an unsettled position is go to assemble, go to as built joint, click on the base here and then click on the top level. That will lock them together, and we can hit OK. And now, instead of them being grounded, we made a relationship here on the top level to ground the base to the document. So I'm going to just turn these joints off because I don't want to see them. The next one is going to be super simple. Again, we're just going to go to assemble. We're going to make this as built joint. Again, you will only see this if the timeline is turned on. So if you have all these icons here on the bottom, if you don't have this timeline turned on, you can turn it on over here by clicking on this and going to capture design history. This will also change too. This will be called something different in the next release of Fusion. So
Devin, just to cut you off here for a second.
Yeah.
Stefan asks in the chat, is there a benefit to grounding it? Why would someone do that?
That's it. I mean, so that's a good question. I think there's a couple of problems with grounding. If we go back here and let me just undo this rigid joint that I had. Okay, so I have no joint. You can see this is floating on the screen. The problem with coming here and grounding this, you have ground to parent, and now you have an option to pin. Now, ground to parent would be the way that I would suggest doing it. Now, like I said, because we've moved this around and altered it, when we go to ground it, the part may actually move and go back to its original position and kind of disrupt some of the stuff. Now, obviously, it all depends on what you've done prior to getting to this point. But if that doesn't work, I was just giving you a secondary option. There is another option here called pin, which used to be called ground, and I'm not sure if we're getting that one confused or whatever, but the pin command, I would say you don't want to use. You probably want to stay away from this. Pin is saying temporarily this thing does not move, and pin can really mess some stuff up because it's going to put this little pin icon down here, or it used to be called ground. And then if we were to ever go up here and unpin this, we're going to get a pin and a unpin thing in our timeline. And what that can do is if we've assembled things or made relationships with this thing pinned in place and then we unpin it, it can break some of those things. So I would say you really want to stay away from that. Obviously, if you're pinning it and then never moving it, you're going to have a similar result. But I would prefer making an as-built joint. That used to be I don't want to say the only way to do it, but the way to ground your first component to the top level assembly here without picking anything crazy was just to go to as-built joint and pick that. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm not trying to deliberately cause more confusion, but that's why I would prefer to do it that way. So grounding it, this command, obviously my first choice. If you ground it and it moves and something happens to it, then I would revert to going to the as-built joint, clicking on that, clicking on the top level. That will make a relationship between the two of those things, and then now I cannot drag this thing on the screen anymore. That's going to be the way that we're going to assemble the last thing on here. We're going to go to as-built joint, and we're just going to pick on any one of these objects that are in this movable jaw. We could even click the movable jaw. We can click the base here on the screen. And that's going to give us some options. So let me do it the other way. I can click on this piece and click on that, and it's going to give us a very similar command down here. But like I said, if you want to click these in the browser, you can just click on the movable jaw and then click on the base. And then what we're going to do is go to the type of motion we want. We're going to choose this to slide right here. Now, when we do choose slider, you'll notice the part is not gray anymore. It's asking for another input. It wants to know what snap point. So it wants to know what direction does this slide. If I were to choose something like that right there, that's not going to be good for us. So we're going to want to come over here, and I would choose something cylindrical like that, and we can hit OK. And now this is going to slide there and give us those. I don't like to see these little joint icons. I think this makes your file look messy and unprofessional. So I like to turn off just all the relationships, because generally I want to see either all of them or none of them. And that's how I put that together. So this is going to be just the first part of this. Next week, when we get some other commands here, I'll show you how to put some parallels in here and put some stock in there and maybe add the stop. All right. No other questions?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah,
I think that is also it. Well, we appreciate everybody coming here. As always, if you have questions, you can put them down there during the week. We will answer them. Certainly, if you have questions, bring them to Friday. We got that link in there if you want to share files or whatever. But obviously, you can toss stuff in there anytime or message us on the DMC. We are here to help. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate everybody for coming. And until next time, stay sharp.